Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and we are going to be playing some Green Stompy today. And this Green Stompy deck has actually been in meta for quite a little bit, especially in best of 3. We're going to be playing best of 1 with it, but I thought this deck was a really good deck. Although it doesn't have tons of Strixhaven stuff, I still wanted to bring you guys something new, and so we're going to be talking about a lot of the spoilers today as we go along with the day. And so I'm going to try to split my brain power between those two, which sometimes I do really well, sometimes I do not. But we're going to try, because there's a lot of really fun spoilers to go over here today. And I wanted to talk about the dungeons mechanic, all that kind of stuff, but didn't want to just necessarily separate out into a different video. So we're going to dive into this one and see how it does for us today. And here we go. Wish me luck. Before we dive into the gameplay, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe button. It helps the channel a ton. All right, here we go. All right, up against Tori, and this hand looks pretty sweet. We have a nice curve there, so keep this. Oh, let me get my headphones on. There you go. I'm not sure if you should be leading off with Lovestruck Beast first. I guess it's Swarm Shambler, since if it gets targeted with anything, you at least get a counter out of it. All right, so diving into some of these, hopefully it doesn't obstruct anything too much here. Let's go ahead and attack in. Down to 19, and we'll go skews. So Evolving Wilds, the only real thing about this first card here is just the art is, it is really goofy, but the more and more that I see it, I actually like it more and more. It's as weird as it is. It's actually kind of fun. And so I do like those ones, but let's move on to some other ones. So the first thing here is diving into the dungeons. The dungeons are pretty insane. Primal Might, huh? Yeah, it doesn't actually fight very well here. So let's go with the Mammoth, just because I think we can get to Great Henge quickly if it does survive. But Lovestruck Beast has a higher chance of survival. So let's just go with the Lovestruck Beast. If the whole point is to get out Great Henge, which I do think is the main point in this matchup, then we're good. All right, so diving into the dungeons. So dungeons are pretty sweet, and I think that this is probably considered the main, like the staple dungeon that's going to be used the most, because it is just really good. All right, I thought I was going to be able to do this better, but it's okay. All right, Great Henge, Primal Might, Lovestruck Beast, kill Bone Crusher Giant, swing in with both. Oh, rude. All right, well, we got our Great Henge out, and that's all that matters. Anyway, so this is the dungeon. Let's see if we can talk about it a little bit more by showing this next one here. So this guy, yeah, no blocks. Whenever he enters the battlefield or attacks, venture into the dungeon. I actually forgot that he does it when he attacks as well. So that actually makes this guy way better than I was remembering. And then it says other creatures you control get +1/+1 as long as you've completed a dungeon. And so if you have completed a dungeon, all of a sudden everything is +1/+1. Some of them say as long as you've, like, for each dungeon that you name that you've completed, which I do think is a better way to go, of course. Probably have a counterspell up. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's go ahead and just play the Mammoth here first. Because they know that we have the Lovestruck Beast. I actually might put Gemrazer out too here and just swing in, although we don't get to draw a card that way. Yeah, let's do that. Swing in with the 5/5. Getting things up to the 5 power realm is actually really important for us. If they want to kill this, they give us another token anyway. This will still be a 5/5 with the Great Henge. And so the only thing here is that they can stop it from having haste. Anyway, so whenever you enter into the dungeon, you enter the first room by grabbing the dungeon that you want to choose, or you advance into the next room down to 14. And so with this one, if he first comes out, we get to grab out the Lost Mine of Flandelver, and we get to go to that first room and get to scry one. No blocks. It's a lot of damage. It's still 7. We have another Primal Might. Oh, that's bad. If they have lots of those, we're in trouble. All right, and then we get to keep going through it. So then when Nadar swings in again, we get to venture again into the dungeon, which means you get to go further. And so then we can go from the cave entrance. Let's see, where can I record? Yeah, it's over here, unfortunately. Yeah, let's go ahead and block Bone Crusher now, just in case they have another. If they have another extra turn spell, we're still dead. Huh. Expressive Iteration, well, better. Okay, Maze Tome. We get some life gain with the Great Henge. I am going to go ahead and just throw this out, I believe, as a blocker. Let's see, how much do I get with the Primal Might? 1, 2, 3, plus 5. Plus 4, because we have to use 1, so 6. Not quite enough. 11 damage there. All right, let's play out the Gemrazer first off, because it does block. Could have got the Maze Mind Tome, doesn't actually matter here. Scavenging Ooze gives us some more protection, or more life gain. Up to 8. I think I'd rather just kill this and go on. So the question here is, how much do I spend on it? Let's spend 1 hidden for 6. And that way we can just use the Lovestruck Beast token. Borrows again. Get an insect. Rude. All right, now we'll use the Swarm Shambler to get it out there. I mean, we're gonna stay in the game here. Scooze gets us 3 life immediately for now. Sweet. All right, so back to the dungeon here. And this is, we're just gonna have the conversation as we're going along. So you get to go into the next levels of the dungeon as you keep going. And then eventually get to the final one where you get Temple of Dumathion. I'm not sure if you have to then venture out of the dungeon, or if you get to the end of it and you get the reward, if that does count as being at the end of the dungeon. I'm actually not totally sure about that. But then you would be able to get the ability of Nadar here that says the other creatures you control then have that ability. All right, so we're going to go a little bit aggressive because we have 2 creatures that can stay back as blockers here. And so let's go ahead. I guess we just swing in with this Gemrazer. We have 2 reach creatures available. All right, down to 9. Activate this. Let's put Gemrazer onto Shambler again. Actually, I think we just play it out. We need stuff with reach, and so we have this. We have the Serpent. I'm debating how high I want to put the Serpent on. We can make it a 3/3, and it'll become a 4/4. Block the Brazen Borrower just fine. Saw it coming. Okay. Put out Stonecoil Serpent. And then Scooze. And I think we've already played all of our lands for this turn. All right, and Scooze. I should have attacked him with the insect too. Trading off would have been totally worthwhile. Oh well. Maybe even the Shambler, because this couldn't have blocked. Anyway, all right, so back to the dungeon stuff, back to the spoilers and stuff. I should have known I would not be able to do this as easily. It's okay. But that, you guys get the basic idea of this. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the other places you can go to. So the first one here, Phandelver, I believe, is the one that's going to be used the most often, because it's just straightforward. Every single thing you have on there is a benefit to you, and you can adjust it based off what things are out there pretty easily. And so for the most part, this is just a good card. And I like it. I think it is decent. Oh no. What's happening here? Tomb of Annihilation, a little bit worse here. All right, block the Goldspan Dragon. We go to 2. They're gonna let us. Wow. Okay, we get a win here. It looks like, at least. So Faceless Haven. Let's go ahead and activate Castle Garenbrig, gain some life back. Questing Beast. 2 mana. We should be just fine. Especially because Skews can grow. We can also put this onto something. Yeah, okay. It was just in case. I wasn't sure how much. They had 3 mana there. They could have had like an unsummon and a bounce spell. I wanted to make sure we had enough power, so I was going to throw out Gemrazer just in case there too. But all right, we're good. We won it. Nice. All right, let's dive into this really quick. So the different dungeons that we have. Tomb of Annihilation is the one that you just want to get it done quick. If you want to do that, there's a downside for doing so, but a pretty cool upside. So the trapped entry, each player loses 1 life. That's good if you're trying to play aggro, and if your aggro plan is, you know, getting Nadar to get to its ability, then you can do this a little bit faster. But Tomb of Annihilation, the oblette side, the right side there, discard a card and sacrifice an artifact, a creature, and a land. So every one of them. Then you could get into that room and you have that, but you have to sacrifice all of those things, which you could probably get it to the point where you're only sacrificing a land or potentially a creature, because that's usually the things that give you adventure so far as what we know. And I really hope there's like 1-drop things that give you venture into the unknown, or venture into the dungeon. We'll see. But then you can get to the final one, Cradle of the Death Dog, which gives you a 4/4 legendary black god horror, which is sweet. So you get a really cool creature out of it right away, and you get to have completed a dungeon, which turns on things like Nadar right away. And that's the real benefit. Is you only want to do that if you're going to have tons of benefit for having completed a dungeon. You can also go through the left side, where you can each player loses 2 life unless they discard a card. Each player loses 2 life unless they sacrifice a creature, which you can get them to then lose 2 life multiple times, which might be the right way to go if you're playing aggro. But for the most part, you're going to want to go for the Lost Mine of Phandelver, and so that's really good. And then the final dungeon here is Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This hand is keepable. Let's go ahead and keep it then. Yeah, not bad. Not too shabby. We need 1 more land, which would be grand. Let's go Swarm. These. Uh-oh. Oh no. Those are the 2 lands that we were really wanting, aren't they? Wow, how about that? Alrighty then. Stonecoil Serpent actually a pretty good card in this matchup, though. So we'll see. Skews also pretty dang good. Do I want to get that out now? Yeah. We'll offer the trade. Actually, no, we won't offer the trade. They can flash in a guy. Right. I haven't played rogues in a while. There he is. I see you. So probably should have played out Stonecoil Serpent because it does block that, and it also dodges a lot of removal once it's out. But let's use Thirst. It does not dodge that though, so we saved it. Whew. Swings in. No blocks. All right, so Dungeon of the Mad Mage gives a ton of extra things that you can get out of it. And so it keeps going, and so it's one of those, like, either you can only complete, I think, 1 name dungeon, like the same name once. You might be able to go to the same one multiple times, but there are cards like Eliwick, the new Planeswalker, that actually want different name cards. What do I want to throw out here? Let's go for the Stonecoil Serpent. It doesn't let us get up to Great Henge, though. Is that just going to get countered, is the question. Serpent into Questing Beast also isn't the worst play. Let us go a little bit aggressive. We actually have to be doing some damage to their face to be in the game a little bit. And hopefully we can draw out some counters along the way. Okay, there's one counter. Yay. Yikes. All right. Eliwick Tumblestrum. Ventures into the dungeon every single turn, or looks for a creature, which is really nice as well. Takes 6, no blocks, down to 13. And then its ultimate ability says you get an emblem with creatures you control have trample and haste and get +2/+2 for each differently named dungeon you've completed. And so it kind of shows a little bit of what else could be expected from it, and I think is actually really cool. All right, man, oh man. I think it is just questing beast. I mean, it does have vigilance, so we're gonna play it out. I mean, rogues, they might just have everything amazing, and once they do, that's just bad stuff. Swing in into the story. Yeah. We have some good sideboard cards for this matchup, but everything else not so good. Anyway, that is basically the spoilers I wanted to talk about. It was just the dungeon mechanics, diving into it here a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and skip this one and go into the next one, because I know where we're at, and we're very far from being able to compete. Anyway, so yeah, Eliwick Tumble Shrub I think will be a pretty cool card. Yeah, the -2 here. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. If it's a legendary, you gain 3 life. The fact that you can gain some life with it as well is actually a really big deal. The only issue here is that you don't have any form of protection with Eliwick, except that some of these do give you like a goblin, like in Lost Mine of Fendelver, where you can create a goblin creature token, which is kind of nice, does kind of work. Being able to ramp with it also might just be worthwhile enough, and you can just say that she has high enough loyalty that it's fine, especially getting up to 5 right away. Actually does make it a little bit better protected. It requires maybe 2 creatures to attack in at Eliwick to kill her, which then you at least got to protect your life total quite a bit, which is actually still a decent play. We saw that with Oka, we saw that with Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. We've seen that in the past, that's actually a decent way to go. Once you get up to 5 loyalty, Planeswalkers do a little bit better for themselves, at least for that level. And so I'm really excited to see how these do. Dungeons in general. The 2 payoffs that we have, I don't think are quite good enough, of course. There's other stuff like they can double strike if you've completed a dungeon, something that's +3/+0 and flying if you've completed a dungeon. And so some of the dungeons that are easier to complete, that's pretty cool. But I don't think it's necessarily amazing. So anyway, that's that. I just wanted to talk a little bit about those, dive into the dungeons a little bit while we also played here today, because I figured we can just kill birds with stones, as nice people do. And that's that. All right, they got a Luminar Gas Sprint. We need to find a removal spell. All right, that's also cool. Lovestruck Beast is a pretty big deal, though. Let's go and attack in here. Down to 21, pass the turn. Selfless Savior. Man, they always have all of the important pieces. I was checking out the meta game, and it is disgusting. Mono White and Winota are like the cards that are there in the format, and it's honestly kind of disheartening. There's a Primal Might. Doesn't help a whole lot now. Especially because we can't do it instant speed, so it doesn't really work with this. Castle Garenbrig, let's go. I think it's got to be Lovestruck Beast, just because it actually stops anything from happening for this next turn. We'll swing in with Scooze. Should have swung with Swarm Shambler too, it's fine. They're gonna block and just give it indestructible here. I mean, maybe they have some sort of pump spell that doesn't actually kill the Scooze. They just got rid of their Selfless Savior. That's awesome. That was the best possible thing that could have happened. What? There. Oh. Cool. All right. I see what's going down now. All right, so we have Primal Might, which can force at least a little bit. We can get Self-Savior into the graveyard and then eat him up. Gobble gobble. So I think we just do this for 0. Actually, let's see here. If I can get it in to be able to attack some other stuff here. I think we actually go X1 and we kill the Luminarch Aspirant. We want to force him to hit the Selfless Savior. So yeah, let's, okay. Kill the Lurrus, try to. Yep. Take out the Selfless Savior. They get to gain life. That was one issue, is that hitting the Lurrus let them gain life, which was annoying. And now we can't attack in because it's still indestructible. Anyway, so no attacks. If I had hit the Luminarch Aspirant, there's a chance they didn't use it because they might have another one in hand and don't worry about it. Knowing that we had some sort of play there. Giant Killer. Rude. Yeah, this all-seeded lice bounty is massive. I could triple block it. They get to pre-play it again. So yeah, no blocks this time. One creature in the graveyard for Scavenging Ooze. That's a play. All right, Questing Beast. Played out as a land? No, not yet. So we go with Questing Beast. Get them back down to, you know, a low level. Yes. Okay, pass the turn. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this one does. What are your guys' thoughts overall, though, with the dungeon mechanic? I think there's a lot of things that it requires for it to be good, but I do think that it will potentially eventually be good. Only the Lurrus, huh? All right. Yeah, that's... If they didn't tap down the Questing Beast, we had a chance there, but now... Yeah, we're dead. All right. I might be conceding a tiny bit early, but believe me, we're not coming back from that. So it's all good. On to the next one. I think the dungeon mechanic is actually going to be pretty fun. I like it. I like the stuff that gives us there. I hope that we have more than just these three dungeons. These ones are nice. Not the Evolving Wilds. What is that? All of these do a lot of things, and I feel like there's versatility enough just in having 3, but I want like 5, just for the sake of having more, you know, and more options and more strategy and more fun stuff. And I think they gave us the basics of like, this one's just good, this one is for fast play and like more aggro style, and then this one is for long play. You just want to keep getting value out of it every turn and not have to worry about it, you know, which is good. All right, snow-covered forest. All right, cycling deck. Let's go ahead and get out of Scooze right away, I guess. Swing in there. Down to 19. Had a Valiant Rescuer decided not to cycle the last card on our turn. Interesting. Oh, they still have another land. Do you kill the Valiant Rescuer with a Scavenging Ooze? Scavenging Ooze is pretty good. There's not any creature stuff. That's a tough decision because Valiant Rescuer is the one card that like hurts us besides the finishers, the flare. I think that we do go ahead and kill this. Just because it's early game, we have a chance to find other ones. Yeah. I guess we use Primal Might here too. It's a little bit awkward. We could also just put a counter onto this, make it bigger in general. Ah, well, whatever. Let's hit in for 2. Let's get in for 3. Cycles. Down to 16, pass the turn. Brings Lurrus to hand. Didn't play a land. Wowzers. Alright, Questing Beast. Hit in for 5. Down to 11. Gemrazer is probably our best draw, just because it lets us have more aggro-ness. Alright, Vivs. Another Questing Beast. Yay! That's what we don't want. Let's go Trample.
Beauty lies in variation.
Swinging with Questing Beast. Down to 7. Alright, so they have to have the... Is it Zenith Flare? That sounds right. I know that we've been playing against this card for forever, and I still don't know what's going on. But it gains them lots of life, and it deals damage to things. Yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing. We can go grab a Scooze by playing one of these Questing Beasts. Is that the best play? I don't know. It's a play. Yeah, Zenith Flare kills Vivs. Alright, attacking with these guys. Triple blocks this guy. And you know what? We still have those Questing Beasts for the next time. Alright, down to 14. Yeah, the life gain they gain from that is the brutal part. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now so I don't forget. Why not? Pass the turn. Flourishing Fox. All right, now's the chance to have a blocker for Questing Beast. They probably will trade it off as soon as possible. So swinging with Questing Beast. Cycles, yep. They have Lurrus to play out another Flourishing Fox as an answer as well. I don't think we actually play out Questing Beast this turn. We go Lovestruck Beast, grow the Swarm Shamblers with Castle Garenbrig. Alright. Let's see here. Actually, I don't use Castle Garenbrig. Play this out. Pass the turn. Now they have chump blockers for days. There's a Lurrus. Yep. You need another Scooze. More creatures that can block and kill a Lurrus are at least somewhat useful. 6 mana. Gives us the mana to activate these guys. I don't think we're attacking in with them. So go for the Questing Beast. They can double block with Rescuers and have the Lurrus to bring him back on the next turn. I'm just going to go ahead and go a little bit aggressive here. The other play is probably just to kill a Lovestruck Beast with 1 guy and 2 tokens. Take the Questing Beast because you're fine. You can also start attacking back really aggressively. Yeah, so down to 6. Pass the turn. I mean, as soon as they have another Zenith Flare, we're screwed. That's the issue. Yeah, 10-point life swing. Really rough here. Probably should have kept my skews for a while, but they also would have had a million 1/1s at this point. Like, the board state would have been much worse off. And all we would have had is them not having the Zenith Flare. All right, no blocks. Zenith Flare for 11. All right, Blizzard Brawl. And I think we killed the Luris. All right, let's see if they forget about the, oh, I should have put out Questing Beast as well there. Oops. Yeah, just chumps. We need to play out Questing Beast so we can block these guys better. I messed that up. I should have played it first. Pass the turn. We at least have a pretty aggressive blocking amount of creatures. Oh my gosh, all the Valiant Rescuers. Yep, that's a lot of tokens. Well then. I don't think they attack this turn. They probably wait until the next turn. Attacking with 6 to hit for 3 and losing 3 creatures isn't worth it. Attacks with all of the peoples. All right, so block there, block there, block here. Take 5. Down to 9. Got rid of 2 Valiant Rescuers. That's a big deal. Faceless Haven also has a blocker. Lovestruck Beast can't attack anymore. Yeah, I can't actually use Faceless Haven, so yeah, that's fine. Pass the turn. All right. Swarm Shambler can grow. And that's game. All right, sounds good. Rude. Alrighty then. The ticket to us pretty hard there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and to the end step with this one, or to the end step, to the breakdown with this one. I'm recording this one the morning before it comes out, so sorry guys, I don't have as much time for this one, but I just wanted to showcase the Green Stompy deck. It doesn't have that many new cards, anything super exciting with it. I want to talk a little bit about the spoilers there, and at least the new mechanic that we've had spoiled so far. I'll do some other actual full-on just spoiler videos for this one. I tend to focus mostly on the things that are actually pertinent and important rather than every single card out there, and dive into the cards I think that are going to be the best ones, or the ones that are the most fun and the most interesting, at least. And so those are the cards that we're going to be talking about the most with my channel, and we'll dive maybe into a little bit some of the common ones, things like that here and there, but mostly only if they're going to be fun or interesting. So if you guys like that kind of content, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you can see when the stuff comes out, and hit the like button. And because a lot of people are saying that they aren't getting notifications, well, hit the notification bell, and make sure you turn on notifications if you want to receive them. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.